Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, looking at the 1961 United States 1-cent coin, the Lincoln cent. It says "In God We Trust" at the top of each of them. Liberty behind Lincoln, underneath his chin is the year 1961. And if we look at this one over here, we see that there is no mint mark under there. That means it's from the Philadelphia Mint. And if we look at the one over here, we see that it has a mint mark, and that's D for the Denver Mint. These coins first started getting made with this image on the front in 1909. But then in 1958, they changed the image on the back, and we will get to that in a second. In 1961, the Philadelphia Mint, which is this one here, made 753 million of these, or 750 million essentially. And the Denver Mint made 1.75 billion. So they made about $1 billion more at Denver than they did at Philadelphia. So you might be much more likely to find a 1961 Denver Mint coin than you are a 1961 Philadelphia Mint coin, because they made $1 billion more of them. Are any of them valuable? Well, that's a really good question. And when you guys look at this, you see something that we often don't do on the Big D Coin channel. And this is, we put in a coin, two coins, that are in really, really, really good shape. And these, I don't know if they're MS63 or somewhere in that range, perhaps. These actually came to us. Somebody gave us one of those coin samplers. And you guys probably know the Lincoln cents, the Whitman Lincoln cents folders, those blue folders. Well, these were in that, so we figured we'd take a look at them here. Tip it up on its edge, and we see that it is a smooth edge. We tip it over on the back, and we see it's the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Not so great on the back as it is on the front, so we might have to downgrade a little bit from that MS63. But look how good Lincoln looks in there. I mean, there's not that many of these coins you see that are general circulation that you can see this many crenellations, that you can see Lincoln so well. You notice here there is an indentation here. So this was probably really, really late in the process that this one got made, and the dies are worn out so much you can't see all the steps. Way over here we see an F and a G, and that's for Frank Gasparo. And Frank Gasparo was the engraver, designer of the Lincoln Memorial cent. On here we see the Denver Mint, same thing, smooth, exactly the same coin. The only difference is the D on the front. Now, there are other countries that produce a 1-cent coin. And let's look at one of them, because sometimes they do it in a different fashion. I flipped it straight over to the back because I knew when you saw the maple leaf you would say, that's a Canadian coin. It says 1 cent at the top, maple leaf, or maple sprig, I guess, which is kind of a little broken branch. 1960 here, KG here, and Canada here. Now, KG, that is for George Kruger Gray, of course. And those of you who love coins know this George Kruger Gray. So there's another KG, and that's the Australian, the big penny from Australia with the kangaroo on it. He did that coin. He also did the Canada maple leaf coin. And we know when we flip over the Canada one, we are going to get a king or a queen on it. And by 1960, when this coin was made, and these are kind of, it's Queen Elizabeth II. This is the first portrait, the so-called Mary Gillick portrait. She's a 29-year-old queen facing to the right. It says Elizabeth II, Dea Gratia Regina, or Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. And we see this kind of geared outer rim. In Canada, they don't use the penny anymore, so it's kind of funny to see the pennies again. And of course, a Lincoln cent never really changed. The Canadian coins would change every time there was a new portrait of the king or the queen, until the very end, and now they don't make them at all anymore or use them. I've heard that they use them once in a while, but when I've been up there, they have not been using them. Now, if we flip these over and we look at them in this condition, so say these were an MS63, that would probably get us somewhere around $6 or $7 maybe a little less, maybe $5 or $6 according to PCGS. In order to get much over $20, you need to have an MS66 of this coin. An MS66 is 66 out of 70, or MS stands for Mint State. Go to the PCGS website or the NGC website, and you can see some values in there. What does it mean if it's a 66 out of 70? Well, what it means is that there won't be any of these scratches, there won't be any of these dings, there won't be any of these marks like this on his tie. So it'll be much cleaner than this. Even so, an MS66 out of 70 is only going to be worth between $20 and $40. So not real expensive coins. What are these two coins worth in this condition? Like pretty good condition, right? Maybe $1, maybe $1.50 at MS63 or below, MS62 or below. And really, there's the MS62 isn't really a. Canada has what they call an almost uncirculated version. This isn't it, of course. That's really what this is. This is an almost uncirculated. Didn't get much circulation. Little dented and dinged. Probably worth $1.50 each, even though they're in great shape. All right. Well, that's all we have from Big D Coin Channel. This is DC saying please subscribe to Big D and look at Big D's Canadian Coin Channel too, because that's, if you want to see a lot more Canadian coins, go to the Big D Canadian Coin Channel and you may see some of these pennies even. Have a great day from Big D Coins.